Welcome to the Trading Sliders Podcast. Here we go, episode number 29 of the Trading Sliders Podcast. How's everybody doing out there? I'm Bobby Puckett. Here with me in studio, late night studio session, Kurt the Flash Bennett. What's going on, Flash?
Not much, Bobby.
Flash and I just got back from a racing trip that's kind of still going.
Yeah.
Leaving out early in the morning, so we're recording this late Saturday night after multiple race trips in one day. We'll talk about that. Before we get started, though, each and every week, we want to thank our sponsors. You can tell it's late. I'm screwing words up.
Yeah.
It might be the ungodly amount of barbecue sandwiches I had this evening. Got me all flabbergasted, but special thanks to Diesel Boys LLC, Brandon Hooker, and the boys over there at Diesel Boys for coming on as title sponsor. And congratulations to Brandon Hooker's driver.
Yeah.
My little brother, Ricky Puckett, picked up a win this weekend. We're going to talk about that later on, but big shout out to him for getting a victory, well-deserved victory over at the Sports Zone Speedway. Also, our Deep Dives is sponsored by Kentucky Clutch and Proformance. Another big shout out to the Kentucky Clutch and Performance guys.
Yeah.
Ben Harmon picked up a Northern All-Stars modified win. We're going to discuss that too.
Yeah.
So basically what it is, if you're friends of the Trading Sliders, it works out.
You're going to win.
Yeah, or at least tear something up trying.
Yeah.
Also, we want to thank our Slider of the Week, Speed Decals, Walt and Emmett Speed Decals. Always take care of us. Been continuous sponsors since day one. Got to hang out with Walt, his son, and his mom. At the races earlier tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So big family conjunction. And last but certainly not least, we also want to thank D.O. Handyman and Remodeling coming on as a sponsor for the Crash of the Week. And he's going to get 2 spots this week because we had a couple big ones.
Yeah.
A couple real big ones. So, D.O. Handyman Remodeling. You need anything done around the house, handyman related. Windows, fences, decks, trim,
doors, anything
remodeling related. Contact David over at D.O. Handyman, 812-989-5002. This week's guest, how you say it plural?
We got a couple guests. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we got 2 cats. How about that?
Yeah.
But Petty Performance Racing's Cameron LaRose and Drake Edwards. Guys, this interview here is a fun one.
Yeah.
It's a few weeks ago we spent the whole evening up at the Petty Performance Motorsports Shop, and shout out to Kyle Cummins for picking up the win this weekend also at Lincoln Park Speedway.
Yeah.
Former guest picked up another win.
See, guys, there's a pattern here.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to run good, come on our show.
Ricky Lewis won this week.
Yeah, Ricky Lewis won again. Yeah. Cole Followay picked up quick time overall and Mars Modified. I mean, there's a lot of special guests, previous guests that did well this weekend.
Yeah.
But, we spent the evening up there at Petty Performance Racing, and Cameron LaRose and Drake Edwards, 2 super cool kids, living out their dream. You guys are gonna this interview here is you get to see a different side of kids who's living on the road, and you also get to see a different side of us because we kind of just cut up with them the whole time. It was a good time.
Yeah.
News of the week: USAC finally gets going. Flash and I made a couple trips that involved that also, but we're going to get into that. The World of Outlaw late models are in the land of Lincoln this weekend. And boy, was it good. The Illinois dirt tracks never disappoint. And speaking of never disappointing, as another train blows through the studio here at 1 a.m. Speaking of a place that never disappoints, Marshalltown, Flash, just in case you're wondering, it's still Marshalltown.
Oh, yeah.
Marshalltown, Iowa, and I-55 Peevely Raceway, just in case you're wondering, it's still Peevely.
Yeah.
The racetrack's still delivering. Weather still plays havoc. And there's a couple double downs this week. The Trading Sliders podcast double down as we hit 2 racetracks in one night.
Yeah.
And we had an unsanctioned double down as well. So bunch of stuff to get into. We're gonna get started off this week with weather. Again, it's almost like a broken record.
Yeah.
A lot of races were canceled. We were supposed to be at the Cumberland Plateau Open Wheel Modified Series. It was supposed to open our season up at Lake Cumberland Speedway. Our event's been postponed, not canceled. It's been postponed. We're going to schedule a date later in the year, so we still are at 22 races for the year. But weather dictated what we did this weekend, so Flash and I was going to go down there because Flash is another another venture that Flash has kind of joined the Cumberland Plateau Open Modified Series tour. So I kind of roped him in. Hey, Flash, guess what? We're hold on a second. This is kind of how the whole show's gonna go. Okay, no, I'm just letting you know. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the horn should be done. That's the trains are rocking through here, or not.
Yeah.
the horns are not done, obviously. So, hold on a second. Now that we'll get this train shenanigans, I forgot to put it in the news opening for everybody that asked about the bathroom shenanigans a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We have another story of bathroom shenanigans coming up later too.
Yeah.
But all funny things. But the weather caused havoc, so Flash and I, we decided, you know what, we're going to make a trip out of it. We don't get to see sprint cars as much as we like to anymore, especially because, like I said, I'm on the road announcing modifieds and late models, so we're like, okay, we're going to go catch out the sprint cars. The way our trip started, we're going to talk about our trip first before we get into the results and stuff. But first off, Flash, did you get everything cleaned up? Because I know you had a mess with the water.
Yeah, I actually got my mom's stuff all moved back into her house, and all the trailers put back where they go, and cars put back in the garage, and all that good stuff. So
right,
I'm good on all that now.
All right, so everybody...
And the one house that was going to get flooded, it missed it by about 8 inches, so I got really lucky on that one.
I missed a bunch by about 8 inches before. If you know what I mean. But for everybody that's dealing with flood issues, tornadoes, weather, because Princeton, Indiana, just a few days ago, I was talking with Kyle Cummins to make sure everybody was okay up there. It just about leveled their shop and missed them by a couple miles.
Yeah.
So everybody that's dealing with, with stuff going on right now, thoughts and prayers are with you. We hope everything, works out and goes in the right direction. The water is receding a little bit, so here in the Louisville area, it's
cleanup can start now, and
a bunch,
a
bunch of
lot
cleanup.
of it.
But like I said, weather played havoc on a lot of things this weekend. The crate racing All Stars was canceled. We were canceled with the Cumberland Plateau Open Modified Series, but with all negative, there is a positive. The positive is we made a trip to Lawrenceburg Speedway where they had a lot of water as well.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
Yeah,
they're on the same river as we are. So, but they had a whole lot of water up there, and the track when we got to Lawrenceburg for the USAC sprint cars. Well, first off, I want to say this. I know Friday night we're not at Lincoln Park. We're going to get into that here in a second, but they had 38 sprint cars. I know it's going to sound bad when I say this, but they only had 28 Saturday at Lawrenceburg Speedway. Let me address that before we get going too much. 30 sprint cars at Lawrenceburg Speedway is plenty.
Oh yeah.
For one thing, and for two, with as rough as the weather's been, I can understand why a lot of guys said, I'm just gonna set this out, because a lot of these guys aren't full-time racers,
right?
So, but with that being said, Lawrenceburg Speedway did a phenomenal job with the hands they were dealt.
Oh yeah.
Racetrack started out a little choppy. I know Kyle Cummins isn't going to like me saying this, but the Hornets may have actually helped the racetrack a little bit.
Yeah.
They peeled up some of the ruts and then they got it rolled back in.
Yeah.
So it was almost like a till for them. So just.
Yeah, I think it made it a little better actually.
Yeah, it actually did. A lot of times, narrow tires, soft racetrack is a terrible situation, but this situation here, I think it actually helped the racetrack a little bit.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I thought Lawrenceburg did a phenomenal job with the hands that they were dealt. But one thing we want to talk about: bathroom shenanigans, Flash.
Oh yeah.
So everybody that's reached out, it's funny how things work.
Yeah.
We do a show. We talk about racing, life, shenanigans.
Yeah.
Just whatever pops up that week, right? I probably had 15 or 20 people message me about the bathroom.
Yeah.
and for the people that's listening for the first time, we're talking about the bathroom at the Walton Verona exit. It's called Hoppy's. They might want to start giving us a plug.
Yeah.
We're giving them a plug. They might want to start giving us a kickback or something.
Yeah.
Free gas or something. But so Flash is like, well, I got to see this bathroom. So we're heading up 71. So I'm like, all right. So we get off and go to the bathroom. we walk in the bathroom, and of course, there's like 5 people in this bathroom because everybody knows how cool the bathroom is.
Yeah.
Except for this one dude who was like almost in the same situation I was. Bro had to really go.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Brandon who got me. I said, you know what? I'm going to get this cat.
Yeah.
So as he walked in the bathroom, he went to, I knew when he was going to sit down, but I know about how long it takes for you to go through the door, especially when you're walking in the bathroom holding your stomach. So I hit the button. It goes lights. Lights go dark. Disco balls playing, music playing, Kurt's laughing, and the Hispanic fellow goes, "Well, that's no good." I started laughing. I'm like, "Yeah, I know, man. I've been there before." He goes, "Oh no, we have no toilet paper." So that's how our trip started out. Yeah. He came out. He goes, "There's no toilet paper in there." I was like, "Yeah, that's the stripper lights." Blink 182 blaring off the wall, and you go to the issue with no toilet. Well, I can get it why that was an issue, but like that was your first problem. First problem was it was pitch dark, like being at Rollers Jammer Dome. But so anybody that's going up 71 North, you have to get off and check out the bathroom. Cool as hell.
Yeah.
But Flash got to experience the bathroom, and it was funny. There's a group of dudes hanging out in the bathroom waiting for somebody to use the bathroom so they can hit the button.
So somebody hit the button, yeah.
Do not push this button. I'm like, oh, I'm pushing that button. So, so we made a trip up there. Okay, I forgot to turn my phone down as my phone's going off like always, 100%. But we made the trip up there. And great race. Got to hang out with great people. Walt and his son Chase, big supporters. Chase has listened to every episode that we've ever done, so this is episode 29. Shout out to Chase. I'm not going to disclose the name, but he said if I do interview one person, he's going to skip that one.
Yeah.
He did tell me that, so I told him the reason why we do these interviews is because maybe that one person you really don't care for, you may like when it's done. So, it was not the Petty Performance Racing guys, so Chase will listen again.
Yeah.
But yeah, got to hang out with and Walt's mom's been going to the races for ever.
Long time. Yeah. She's talking about all the World 100s and all the North-South 100s she's been to.
Yeah, the Kings Royal, all that stuff. So shout out to Walt and his family. Great people and help us out. Tremendously. So good fun trip. Now getting to the race. Flash, I want to ask you something. Before the feature started, did you think that we were going to be ripping the cushion, banging the hose, and just absolutely throwing haymakers?
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Not the way the night had been going, yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I was going because we had one heat race. First off, hold on. Let me back up.
Yeah.
Qualifying. Non-wing sprint car qualifying.
Yeah, it's just...
that is worth the price of admission alone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna put this out there.
Qualifying on dirt, like, I remember when I was a kid going to Charlestown Speedway the first time when it was dirt and they always qualified. That was my favorite part of the night. Every single night was watching them guys qualify.
Well, because
it's the same way with non-wing sprint cars.
Yeah, it's just absolutely insanity.
Well, it's just like you get one or two cars out there at a time, and you can actually hear when they're on and off the gas, and it's just crazy.
And at Lawrenceburg, they're not off the gas much.
No, they're not off much
at all. Yeah,
it's just really cool though.
Yeah, but this week. Crash of the week. We're going to go ahead and put the little thing in right now. Crash of the week by D.O. Handyman and Remodeling. Sabin Bybit. I think I pronounced his name right. I'm sure I'm going to butcher it. But if you guys got any type social media whatsoever, check out the flow. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you call it now.
Yeah.
They put this crash up. The kid. Look him up on Facebook, buy his merchandise, help him out, because the kid is a local racer that does this on a budget, a family racer. Like, when I say on a budget, they are the mildest of mild race teams.
Yeah.
And the kid absolutely sent it 5th quick time overall on lap 1. And there's a good chance lap 2 is going to be quick time.
Until it wasn't.
Until he biked up in the right front. I've never seen a front clip being thrown over the catch fence like that. I mean, it was an absolute disaster of a crash. And one thing I noticed that the group next to us, because we were there for the Justin Owens Memorial Race, and Justin Owens lost his life in qualifying at Lawrenceburg.
Yeah.
And the group to the left of us took a big sigh, and they were all there with the family of Justin Owens' family. So, but to this kid's chagrin, he come climbing out of the car, and he wanted to know if it could be fixed. I was like, bro, the answer is no. But big time crash of the week. Check him out. Saban Byban, I think is his name. But this video is gonna go viral because of this wreck.
Yeah.
And another we'll do crash of the week contender or crash of the week number 2.
Yeah. Point 2 or something.
Yeah, point 2. D.O. Handyman Remodeling, point 2.
Yeah.
Has to go to Cody Overton.
Yeah.
Friday night qualifying. Both crash of the weeks come to qualifying.
Yeah.
Only car on the racetrack.
I know it.
But Cody Overton full scented in turn 1 and 2, and it looked like a sprint car flipping out of the racetrack.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely demolished that car. But Cody Overton, being in good spirits and being a lot younger than us, jumped straight up, ran to get the other car out of the trailer and made the feature. So
yep, so that's pretty cool.
That was our 2 crashes of the week. Now, back to Lawrenceburg. I know this is kind of sounding all over the place, but it's really like 1 o'clock in the morning, and the reason why we're doing this show so late
is because we're going racing tomorrow.
Because we are going to Circle City tomorrow. So, but like Kurt said before the race, we didn't think the feature was going to be all that good because it was a little choppy in the middle, and most guys. I mean, we had guys try the top all night.
Yeah.
But they just decided, you know what, we're going to play it safe and come off the top. Come feature time, there was no playing it safe. We're just ripping the damn cushion the whole time.
Yeah.
Absolute phenomenal race, really. I wish the second red flag, I never want to see a red flag come out, but I wish the second stoppage didn't happen because they were just catching traffic. And I think Chase Stockton he had something for Justin Grant on the bottom. I know Grant ripped the top and got around him, but Grant couldn't go to the bottom in traffic at all, and Stockton could. So
yeah, Stockton was good all night on the bottom.
Yeah. But hat shake to Justin Grant for taking the win. Like I said, great racetrack for the conditions. I know somebody's going to get on here and say, "Oh, it had a big hole in it." Well, it did.
Oh, I was actually already looking at Facebook stuff earlier, and everybody was griping about it. It's a hole, that's why nobody goes there and all this. I was like, them guys raced all night, and not one of them guys griped about the racetrack when they talked to them either.
No, well, here's the thing. You got 2 options.
Yeah.
We've got 20 inches of rain in the last 3 weeks in our area. Here's the options. Either race or don't race.
Yeah.
There's no in between. So,
and there was 28 guys there that was ready to race.
So, like I said, the motto for the USAC sprint cars is no wings, just ruts and guts. I'm going to throw an extra motto in there. No wings, just ruts, guts, and nuts. Because those dudes flat throw it over their shoulder and put it on the line. USAC, if that's a shirt you want to use, have at it. Just get a hat that fits my big-ass head so I can buy one.
Yeah.
But overall, great night.
Yeah.
The best part about it was the sprint car feature was done at 9:30. I get on my phone, message Jackson Barber, because I'm putting it this way, Flash. There's a few people out there that if they're at the racetrack, they can give you an absolute T. All right, this is where they're at. This is what they're doing. And Jackson Barber, for being a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
If you message Jackson, because he was there helping Ben Harmon, and I messaged Jackson. I said, "Hey, I know you guys are at Florence. Where are they at?" He said, "Finishing up the last B main right now. About 5 minutes. They're going to start the late model feature." I said, "Great." So flashing out, I said, "You know what? We're doubling down. We got to go through Florence, Kentucky on the way home, anyways."
Yeah.
So as we pulled up, and this time, no 100-mile-an-hour. I actually even did the speed limit for the most part all the way over there.
Yeah.
Because we knew we were going to miss the late model feature regardless. We may have got 4 or 5 laps if I ran 100.
Right.
But we were going to miss the late model feature regardless. So, and James Essex likes talking like me.
Yeah.
So we knew Victory Lane celebration. We were good. We were going to be able to see the modifieds, the sport mods. So we hopped in the car, made a 30-minute drive. The lady at Florence, sweet lady, let us in the gate.
Yeah.
with our wrong color armbands.
Yeah.
But we got to check out the Northern All-Star modified feature. First off, Northern All-Star late models, we actually did get to see this race. So Flash had it brought up on his phone.
Yeah.
While I was maneuvering through traffic, but Josh Rice picked up another win at Florence.
Oh yeah.
The Josh Rice Playground is also known as the Florence Speedway, but Josh Rice picked up another win in the late models and local modified standout, and son of one of our former guests, Ben Harmon, out of Brooks, Kentucky. Technically my neighbor right next door.
Exactly.
Picked up the modified win, and not only did he just pick up the modified win, he absolutely laid the beat down on the field.
Fast time. Won the heat race.
Yeah, fast time. Won the fast heat, won the first heat, and won the feature.
Yeah.
With a good field of cars. Really good field of cars.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good cars.
So that was that was pretty neat to see a young kid who it's hitting the road, racing in a lot of races that some people say he may not quite be ready for yet.
Yeah. But he's not racing with your normal guys. He's racing with the best of the best. I mean, everywhere he goes. So hat shake to Ben Harmon. He drove a flawless race, and it was good to see the kids get the win. Sport mod race may have been the race of the night. Oh yeah.
After the 5 cautions, car catching on fire, busted fuel cell, burned the fuel off. I didn't even mention this. We also got to Florence in time for the BOGO.
Yeah.
Buy one, get one. So
yeah.
not only did the chili dogs at Lawrenceburg were they delightful, we also got a couple barbecue sandwiches at Florence when we got there.
Yeah, for half price.
Yeah, so buy one, get one. But overall, good night. I'm gonna do injustice here. I don't know the cat's name that won the sport mod race. You remember his name?
Yes, Carson Freeman.
Oh yes, Carson Freeman.
I think it's Carson Freeman.
Yeah, because Flash said, "Man, he has some of the worst luck."
Yeah.
I turned to him and said, "Flash, I got bad news for you," because he broke something in the rear end. The last 3 laps, he was smoking on the left rear.
Yeah.
I said, if his race would have been 5 laps longer, he was about to have some more bad luck.
Yeah, but he made a killer last lap pass though.
Yeah, well, he opened his entry up, turned under him, and dragged race, and the kid that was leading didn't really squeeze him, but he didn't really give him no room. Good hard racing, but overall, good trip. We was able to stop by Florence on the way home, so we doubled down. That's kind of what we do. We're gonna. Oh, and Kurt's looking over my shoulder watching. See, I screwed up, guys. Here in the studio, I put 3 TVs up. If you've seen my stuff on Facebook, so you can watch races from every angle. And I put it on the wrong side. I got to put Flash on the other side because he's always looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's looking at me or what. But he's watching
sprint cars at Peevely right now.
But it was a really fun trip this weekend.
Gilpin throws a monster slider on Randy Lines. Holy cow! Slide jobs by the dozen out here as Lines puts another one on Sherman.
Slider of the week. We're going to give to this week's Slider of the Week, presented by Speed Decals. Walt Newman Speed Decals. You need anything, reach out to him. But Slider of the Week is going to go to Hudson O'Neill for doubling down at Lucas Oil Speedway in the unsanctioned race. I know there's a lot of hoopla. If there's an unsanctioned race, will you get a bunch of cars? The answer is yes. Will you get good drivers? The answer is yes. Guys, there's still $20,000 is still $20,000.
Yeah.
Nicest racetrack in the country is still the nicest racetrack in the country. So it's going to produce.
Yeah.
But hat shake to Hudson O'Neill, kind of getting that monkey off his back. I know ever since when he went to SSI, he came right out of the gate. He was hitting on all cylinders, got a win right off the bat, and then they kind of struggled for a while.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will get them turned around, going the right direction. So that was a Slider of the Week, Hudson O'Neill. USAC Friday night at Lincoln Park. Friday night. Here, Flash, I had all the TVs going. I had races going every which way, but we're not going to talk about everything that we did this week, but we're still going to talk about the USAC Friday night at Lincoln Park Speedway. 38 sprint cars, cowboy up.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture floating around social media that this morning, Saturday morning, after the race, The guy went down,
sitting on. Yeah, you showed me that one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he sat on the first cushion, the rut in the bottom, and then there was another cushion
right.
on top. But Kyle Cummins, former guest, absolutely went to the top and just destroyed the USAC sprint car field.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that one because I don't have 3 TVs like some people, so I only got to watch Marshalltown.
Yeah, that's terrible. You only got to watch Marshalltown.
Is awesome. I'm telling you guys, if you don't watch it, they have their weekly show on every week on there too.
Yeah.
On Flow. You got to watch it sometime. I mean,
go back and watch it during the week.
Yeah, you can watch it during the week just on a regular night. Just go back and watch it because that place produces every single time.
Marshalltown, Iowa is still Marshalltown, Iowa.
Yeah.
And Kelly Shyrock is still Kelly Shyrock.
Yeah.
9-time USMTS national champion, IMCA super national champion. I think in modifieds maybe twice, but Kelly Shyrock, I don't think he gets. I mean, he obviously gets older, but it's not slowing him down none. The guy can flat wheel a race car, and that's one thing. If you don't know who these guys are, I know a guy that listens to us, him and his son John and Jacob Dole. Every time we mention somebody, they look them up. Or if we have a guest on, they follow them and keep tabs with them. Guys, if we're talking about these people, they're usually somebody you want to pay attention to.
Yeah,
usually.
He just picked up Kelly Shyrock just picked up $5,000 win last night in the stock cars.
Yeah, 5K cool ones there.
Yeah.
Kelly Shyrock. Oh, and another thing I want to say as we're bouncing around because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Jack Thomas passed 17 race cars to win the 305 feature at Lincoln Park Speedway, and that's impressive in itself.
Yeah.
But he passed Ethan Barrow for the win, which is even more impressive in the 305 world. So that could be honorary Slider of the Week, really.
Yeah.
You pass that many cars on a racetrack that's cowboy up. Because those 305 cars is a momentum thing.
Yeah.
And there wasn't no momentum the other night. It was just stand on it and go. Jack Thomas took the win. One thing I want to talk about real quick, Flash, about Marshalltown. The back stretch has the wall up on the back stretch. I'm always saying I want walls up in the turns.
Yeah.
I hope they leave Marshalltown's turns alone.
Yeah.
Because the top is just long enough that if we got a big cushion, it would be really top dominant.
Yeah.
It's got just enough cushion. There's certain tracks. I mean, I know, we bitch. Brownstown needs a wall.
Yeah.
Well, it does. Marshalltown, it does not.
Right.
Just the guys don't mess with the wall and the turns in Marshalltown.
Yeah.
I know a few weeks back I said, well, maybe they'll put the wall up, but as I watch the stock cars and modifieds, the way they can roll the bottom and then it's such a long way around the top.
Yeah.
If it had a wall, that it would bring it down about 4 feet, and then you just be able to rip the top. So
right.
Let's not.
That place is cool though, because however the track starts running that night though, depends on where the guys can make speed. Because with the IMCA cars, the motors are also equal. It's just it's kind of crazy, man. I mean, you get a guy that can start getting a run on the top side.
Dallin Murray.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And then you got the guys that run the very bottom on the hub like Shyrock, and it's just crazy that they come off they'll be so far apart, and then when they come off on the straightaway, they're side
right
by
there
side
together.
every time. It's just
It's
so cool.
But I mean, I know Mike Marlar is phenomenal at maneuvering his car on the bottom, not losing speed. Dennis Erb, is really good. I don't know if there's a guy as good in the country though as Kelly Shyrock at running the bottom at every racetrack.
Yeah,
I mean every single. It doesn't
and in every kind of car.
Yeah,
because he does it in the modified too.
Kelly Shyrock, he just sees the lanes different. I don't know. It's for a guy like me who never ran the bottom good at all.
Yeah,
I really like that. That sucks, but what he does is good.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars at Peevely. Huge car count Friday night. 62 World of Outlaw Sprint Cars.
Yeah, that's
Cole Macedo. No, Carson Macedo. I always get the Macedo screwed up. Was it Cole or Carson? I have to look as we go. But it was Carson. Carson Macedo, the 40.
Yeah.
So Carson Macedo jumped out to the lead, threw a couple sliders, back and forth. Danny Dietrich started up front. He faded. I mean, they are racing all over the racetrack. And somehow, David Gravel is always, like, the reason why he won last year's title, there's some people say, well, because Brad Sweet wasn't there. Well, yeah. Yeah, okay, Brad. Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
But also it helps when you have a absolute shit night and you still run second.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he was in the wrong place. He hit the lap traffic in the wrong time. He would run up on, Macedo and he'd throw his slider, and Logan Schuchart started out front and was gone. Macedo caught him. And then when Macedo caught him, Schuchart, he kind of changed his line. When he changed his line, Gravel like almost runs over him. And like David Gravel has unlimited ultimate car control in race cars that really shouldn't be controlling.
Right.
But we didn't get to see Saturdays. People actually, Flash is watching over my shoulder right now.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So we're not going to talk about that. But the last thing before we get off here and check our interviews, check our Petty Performance racing interviews, Cameron LaRose and Drake Edwards, the World of Outlaw late models at the Land of Lincoln. And Friday night, Ethan Dotson picked up his first career World of Outlaw late model win.
Yeah.
And he did it
cool.
going around Drake Troutman, who was running good, and RTJ. He ripped around him in the top of 1 and 2, where you usually don't pass at Homer City, at the top of 1 and 2. He ripped around him and drove a absolute flawless race. I know Troutman ended up having a little problems, but Thornton was there. Thornton ran second. Absolute great race. I know there's some cars tore up. I know Turbo and Shannon Babb kind of got together. I don't know if it knocked the steering wheel out of Babb's car, but
I guess English was in that one too, wasn't he?
yes.
Yeah.
Well, when I don't know if it knocked the steering wheel out of Babb's hand or what, but he smoked the inside U tire, smoked English.
Oh yeah.
English smoked Babb. Somebody else come in like, hey, I want a piece of this too. You guys aren't going to tear your stuff up without me. He crashed in there as well. Bobby Pierce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bobby Pierce let me get a piece of this shit.
Yeah, because I did see where Bobby Pierce was thanking all the guys on the 25 crew, the high side hustler, for helping get the front end back together on his car so he could get back out there.
Well, speaking of this, I almost forgot about this. Jason Fager's crew worked on Fager's car. They worked on like every car that came into pits. Because Fager and Ryan Gustin threw a. I don't want to say. I don't know how to say. Fager started on the pole, cleared Gustin in 1 and 2, didn't really take the upper lane away.
Yeah.
Drove down in 3 and kind of drove in on the bottom, but didn't see Gustin because Gustin wasn't beside him.
Yeah.
So Fager was going to kind of like let it go up to the cushion. And the Reaper was like, not today, bro. Rip the top.
Oh, yeah.
He crashed on top of Gustin, ripped his door post off, hit him in the wheel. Fager spun out. World of Outlaws, if you are involved in the wreck, you are part of the wreck.
Oh, yeah.
You're the caution. So he stopped. He went to the tail. Oh, and I almost even forgot about this whole damn thing. Hard luck of the week, maybe Devin Moran. Devin Moran's leading when Troutman and Dotson. This is how Dotson got the lead after this. But Devin Moran's leading. Troutman's running him down. 2 cars wreck in front of Devin Moran. I mean, like, they wreck coming off turn 4.
Yeah.
Moran runs in there, pops him in the ass, stalls the car. Then takes off. Well, guess what?
He stopped on the track. So.
He stopped on the track. He's part of the caution. World of Outlaws does a thing, though. World of Outlaw late models. I kind of like this rule. If there's a crash in front of you and you lock your brakes up and spin out and stop on the track and you do not touch the cars, it's called an avoidance caution. You get your spot back.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't avoid them.
Oh, yeah.
He got the other caution. He got the other part. So,
he got the one where you stopped on the track.
Where you stop on the track after you bust them in the ass. So, but I kind of like that rule. At first, I was like, well, that's weird. Why would? Then I'm thinking, well, it saves a bunch of equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's a judgment call. But if you got these 2 cats up here wreck, and you spin out going into 3 because they wrecked in 4, and you locked your brakes up, most people in America can tell, yeah, he just locked his brakes up so he wouldn't get in a wreck.
Right.
I kind of like that rule. But here's my question on that. This is totally off the subject and, may not make a difference. But what if Devin Moran locks his brakes up, spins out, doesn't touch those cars, but somebody else pops him?
Yeah.
Then what happens?
Yeah.
So the next World Outlaw race I'm at, I want to have Steve Francis at because what goes on there? Because he avoided the caution, but then some other dude hit him.
Yeah.
So he's part of the caution now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's one of those gray areas that I don't know if they thought that all the way through.
Yeah.
But it's trust me, if it can happen, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it will happen.
So that's everything we did this week. Like I said, we're heading to Circle City. So hopefully this episode is out Sunday evening, late Sunday evening. If not, it'll be Monday evening because as it's approaching 2:00, I don't know how late I'm going to stay up and put all this together. But we're going to get off here and we're going to listen to this week's Deep Dives presented by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. It's Cameron LaRose and Drake Edwards from Petty Performance Racing. Two pretty cool kids living their dream. You guys are really going to enjoy this. It's time for the Trading Sliders Deep Dives presented by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. Here we go on this week's Trading Sliders Deep Dives. We have two dorks here at the racetrack. That's what you told me.
It's perfect.
Okay, it's perfect. But in all seriousness, we're here at Petty Performance Racing, and we have Drake Edwards and Cameron LaRose or LaRose?
No, perfect. LaRose is perfect.
Okay. Well, I know that's why I was gonna, because I've heard it pronounced both ways.
Yeah, I don't know how on every announcement, like going on the track, it's always LaRosa, and I have no idea why.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why, because I'm an announcer, and when you look at my race pass and stuff's just scrolling up or down, you just automatically, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
You just throw it out there.
Yeah, it's simple to screw up, and especially me. I just want to make sure I hit record because I do that a lot. I screw up more words than you'll ever know. Like you guys being from the West Coast, I'm probably going to piss you off by saying this, but Vado, I got like a couple guys, every time I mention a track there on the podcast, they shoot me a message. You're saying it wrong. I'm like, okay, my bad. I'm going to say it wrong. That's my bad. All right, guys, so we're sitting here at the Petty Performance Race Shop. Drake kind of laid back, chill mode, and LaRose, Cameron does all the work. From what I've seen, I've only been here for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah. But Cameron does all the work. Drake, what do you do here?
I just mental support mostly.
Okay.
Just help him out if he's having a bad day. Just help him out or talk him through it or however.
I'll tell you one thing you do. You put away some damn hot wings. How many wings did you eat before we get started?
3 of them.
3. That's it.
It's only 3. That was it.
How much?
A couple slices of pizza.
Okay.
4 maybe.
4.
Little pieces though. I mean, not big pieces.
Okay.
He'll be moving the sprint car before too long. Because it won't fit in the midget.
Well, here's the thing. I was going to put it there. Drake is a micro midget. I wanted to say expert, and then he proved me wrong a few weeks ago. But I'm just messing with him. Just messing. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just teasing with him. All right. Micro midget guy from the West Coast. Last year you competed on the USAC West Coast Midgets Series, and Cameron here he's a sprint car expert. All right.
Big kid.
Wow. Yeah, he runs the big car.
What a title.
But I'm trying to give you You're
love it. Hey, I love it.
The crew chief of the national points leader right now. I'm trying to build you up, and here you are, want to get smart.
No, I'm not smart. That's a great title. I mean, I think everyone here is fighting for the same thing, so that's great to have it.
Yeah, that's great to have. And you just come off a top 10 run at Paragon. First off, was that your first time at Paragon?
It was, yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, so we showed up, and we were in the parking lot, and they didn't let us in the pits, and I was like, I've never even seen this place. So I looked up a YouTube video, and that was the first time I've ever seen the track.
Straightaways are long, aren't it?
Yeah, it is.
The straightaways kind of remind you of Tulare?
Oh, yeah. Like kind of the same, same deal.
Yeah, that's the track I haven't been to. I've been to a bunch of them. I haven't been to Tulare, but just by looking at the overhead view, I'm going to start with you first, and then we'll talk to this one about the midgets. We're gonna let him think about what he did last week. He needs some things to go through his head. Because I got something to gripe about him, but we're just gonna let it go. But Cameron, when you're running the sprint car, especially at a place like that with the long straightaways and the tight corners, what's the sketchiness on 1 to 10? Because you didn't get a real fair go because the track was super slick. But what's the sketchiness like in hot laps when you got to bind the car up and then point it straight the other way?
Yeah, it's not my specialty. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Because when I started racing sprint cars was all just massive straightaways, massive corners, all the bank in the world. So like having to go as hard as you can and then turn around the other direction is it's a little different for me. So we're still working on it, but luckily it slicked off enough to where it was like more controllable for me. So it was good, but definitely a different feel for me. I'm not as a sideways guy as Kyle, so I use more of my front visor instead of the side one.
Well, I'm just going to put it out there. Being that you're going to do a lot of local racing in Indiana, there's about 5 guys that's sideways. Okay. Rest of them, you're good, okay? Yeah, so don't get comparing yourself to Kyle Cummins. Yeah. He's got plenty of years of practice. Right. Compare yourself to yourself and you'll be okay. All right, Dre.
Yep.
I'm going to put this out there.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to switch it. With running the midgets, is your goal to get to sprint cars at one time? Is that what your end all be all? Are you content with the midgets? Because midget racing is super exciting. I've been giving you a hard time for a little bit, but midget racing is super exciting. More of a physical style racing where sprint cars are. I mean, it's hard to say sprint cars are finesse, but compared to midgets, sprint cars are finesse. What's your main goal?
I think my goal is to end up in sprint cars. Eventually, I think that's the end goal, is to be able to get out of the midget deal and start doing the sprint cars. The midget deal for me, the thing I've struggled with the most is the aggression with it. The way everyone drives in a midget, kind of, I feel like never really drove like that, don't drive like that. So I think...
Hold on. You just said you ran a whole season in California.
Yeah.
The racetracks where you have to be aggressive to even get into tracks sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got to run Bakersfield, right?
Yep.
How'd you even get into the racetrack?
Oh, no.
I mean, you got to be aggressive to get in.
I know, yeah, especially in California. No, it was rough. No, like, I feel like I can wheel it. Just the aggression level, like sliding every corner, every lap, hitting each other. Like, I feel like the kids nowadays are just a mess in that thing.
It's funny. Hold on. How old are you?
21.
21.
Yeah.
The kids.
That's kind of weird to us, though.
Yeah, that's really weird to me, you saying kids.
Because we're old guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like kids is anything.
Don't let this hat fool you, bro.
Yeah.
Look, don't let this hat fool you. My ass is bald as hell, okay? Like, I am not young at all, okay? But seriously, the aggression, it is a very aggressive racing. And you come from micros. Micros on the West Coast, is it not that aggressive?
It is.
It's
most definitely. Yep.
Because micros here in the Midwest it's like midgets on steroids, really.
Yeah.
Really
that's all they are.
Yeah, no, the micros, especially, I mean, like Arizona was not terrible in Arizona, I wouldn't say.
I think that's why we lack some of our aggression.
Yeah.
Just like,
Didn't really pick up on it. Yeah. California, when we went to California, it was a whole different deal over there. When we went to California.
And I don't want to make our listeners mad in California, but California's just a little different anyways. Yeah. Badass racetracks, though. I will give them that. They're some of the most badass racetracks in the country is in the state of California.
Yeah, we talk about that every week.
Yeah, I love the short tracks in California.
Yep.
I mean, I just absolutely love them. All right, Cameron, I got a question for you. We're going to talk about the whole petty performance and everything, but I just wanted, I want people to know that you guys aren't just crew guys, that you guys are racers first, okay? In running the sprint car, are you because you've run a little bit of wing, I know it's 360 stuff, but you run a little bit of wing. How aggressive, I know you said you like driving the car straight. Here in Indiana, it's going to be a lot of bull rings. With banking, with cushions.
Right.
How aggressive do you have to run versus I just need to make laps right now and get this under my belt? Because the competitor in this is like, hey, we want to win. We're going out there to win. But so how do you, level that off?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's tough because when I show up, I feel like we put in so much work to the point where it's just me, right? It's like the only thing lacking is me. I know everything else is taken care of. So I just feel like I need to push it. But there's also a part of me that is like a reserve side. So finding the balance is real important because I'm not used to small tracks like this. So like big cars on small tracks is not what I'm used to. I'm used to big cars on big tracks and little cars on little tracks. So like big cars on small tracks, like you're braking distance and you slow and people chop up in front of you and you just have to be able to, chalk up and go a different direction if you have to. So trying to mainly understand how everyone else runs here and how they run the tracks and like the aggressiveness of them can kind of determine how I run, but I try to keep a decent balance for my learning, races and learning season here, so we don't go through any parts that we don't need to, and we can, perform the best we can without any,
So
bad things happening.
See, as they was talking about the kids, I'm going to say, even though I give Drake a little shit here, I'm going to say these kids are way more advanced for their age.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
you just gave a 35-year-old answer, okay? That's exactly what that was. I'm just, in hindsight, he just said, I don't want to tear my shit up and I want to make my laps. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can say that on here. We're cool with that. We're sitting here in the Petty Performance Center. First off, you guys must be having the time of your life. If I could go back when I was 20 years old, 21, 22, like this right here would be the ideal job. So how much fun is it coming to work every day?
It's a blast. I mean, to be able to race cars and work on cars. I mean, we've worked on race cars our whole lives, from little cars to big cars or whatever. Like, we've always worked on our own stuff. So, like, being able to do that and still get to race these cars and whenever we can, I mean, like, you can't ask for anything more.
Yeah, because when you come out here to race Midget Week, correct? Mm-hmm. And you just brought him along, like, hey, come hang out with me. So how cool is that where you're just like, man, I hang out with my buddy every day, and this is what we do. I mean, like for you, Cameron, how in the world do you say, all right, I'm going to go help you at Midget Week? Oh, shit, I just moved across the country. Like, how do you make that step in your life?
It's crazy. So actually, this is the first time Midget Week wasn't even supposed to happen. That was not a thing. We went to Ventura, and I texted him because I had a free weekend. And I'm like, hey, you need help? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you can come. So I was like, perfect. So got to the hotel, realized he did not need help. There was, 4 or 5 of us?
4 of us, yeah.
4 of us in one hotel room. I'm like, wow, he just couldn't say no. Whatever, right? It was a great night. We hung out, we were on 3rd or something. Mm-hmm. He was pumped up.
Yep.
And he called Jerry. He's like, hey, can we go to run Midget Week? And he's like, yeah. So we packed up, drove to Arizona, took apart his spare car, put every part he had in a trailer, drove all the way out to Midget Week, and then ran Midget Week. And then like Kyle said, I talked to him and about moving out here. I wanted to move, and then he's like, yeah, okay. And then a week later, I called him, and then I think 2 weeks after that, I was here. It was crazy. It happened so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
So he owes all this to you, then, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Like, hold on a second. You guys got to change roles then. I mean, if he's the one, you can't just drag him along and let him take over.
I like where I'm at. I enjoy it. I'm happy where I'm at.
Nah, I'm just messing with you. So, how much fun is it traveling on the road and learning from a guy like Kyle Cummins? Because you both said, your end goal is to be, running sprint cars. Cameron, you're running sprint cars already, but, like, I would say he's a pretty good teacher after talking to him, but I could see where, he just does a lot of feel. So you guys got to kind of pick up, like, okay, the car did this, because it's not like he's saying, I'll set it down. He's just like, well, it just kind of felt a little sketchy. So, but, having someone that's been up and down the road, that's ran the bull rings, that's pretty much done everything you can do in non-ring sprint car racing, how much does that help you guys going forwards?
No, it's huge. He's got, like you said, his mental notebook's insane. You could ask him, like, hey, we're going here this weekend, like, what do you think? He'd tell you what track's going to do just right there, right? So everything you need to know as far as racetrack setup, driving style, like how you need to approach something, or what the car needs to be like to get there, right? What you need to have to get there. He's got it all. So I think both of us have been pretty fortunate to have really good like mentors or teachers throughout like our racing stepping stones. So he's just another one on the list, and he's like, it's just cool to be able to bounce ideas off him, and if he's got a real crazy one, either try it or be like, dude, like, that's a little insane.
Yeah, he's like, I've already done that, and that's the night I went over the wall at Terre Haute, so we're not messing with that again.
Exactly.
And you're like, no, let's put this spacer on. I promise you it's going to be good. He's like, the hell it is. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
And then you turn and ask Drake, like, what do you think? And Drake's like, I don't know. I run midgets. Yeah. So is that how it works? Like,
I don't know nothing about him.
I don't know
Like,
nothing about this. Yeah. So, all right, Drake. So you got to go out to run Port City this, when this goes out, it'll be a month ago. Well, you got to recently run Port City. First off, That's a pretty neat racetrack, isn't it?
It's very cool.
I mean, I know the result wasn't what you wanted, but I don't think Kyle gave you the best car going out there from what I heard. We had a bleeder issue. He was running good, but then the magneto, I mean, I get it. I understand what you're saying. I understand. So sometimes equipment fails, so it wasn't your fault. No, but seriously, how fun is it to race on such different style racetracks than what you grew up? Because, being from Central Arizona, like my dumb ass forgot to. Both of these kids are from the Phoenix area. I forgot to put that out there. 15 minutes in, like I normally do, I leave something out because as you guys see, I got no notes whatsoever. What you see is what you get right here. That's what we do. I just want to make sure I got the name of hometown right. And guess what? I didn't even mention the hometown, so that's what I do. But from the tracks that you grew up on, the bigger style tracks, even running the midgets, you went to California, but there's no tracks in California. Well, Ventura is kind of small, but as far as Port City, Creek County, all the smaller tracks, what's the difference from the Midwest racetracks to the California tracks?
I think the biggest difference for me is everything on the West Coast is just dry. It's slicked off pretty early in the night. I mean, whether it be Arizona to California, it's really hard to come by, I feel like, a gripped up racetrack anymore over there. Every now and again you will get one.
But Ventura Turkey Night, they decided we're going to have it gripped up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think I struggle the most, like coming out here, like especially like for Midget Week and at Creek and Port, in the grip with that thing. I struggle a lot with trying to get it right. But I do enjoy like just the different tracks, being able to go to the different tracks and learn and build the notebook and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
You like all the banking out here in the Midwest?
I love it.
Everything's got banking in the Midwest.
Does. Yep.
So, all right, let me ask you this. This is for both of you guys, because you're fairly new to the area. If you had to say the best racetrack in Indiana, not because Kyle's won there, not because, but just what you prefer, I'd like to know, because it's fascinating to me when you get guys from the West Coast, they come to, because I think like two tracks right off the top of my head that I love these two, but when guys run from other parts of the country, they're like, ooh, no, that's not it. So I'm going to start with you, Drake. What's your favorite track in Indiana?
I think I'm going to have to go with Kokomo. When we went to Midget Week, that was the coolest track that I thought we raced on. I wish we would have went to Paragon. I think Paragon would be pretty wild in the Midget. I know we're going back there this year, but I'd have to say Kokomo, I think.
Okay. Cameron?
Am I allowed to say Kokomo?
You say whatever you want. It's your answer.
I've not raced Bloomington yet, but I am excited for Bloomington.
But see, because me, I'm like, I love Bloomington, I love Hobstadt, I love Circle City. But all three of those tracks are kind of like, you got to throw them over your shoulder and go race. And when you come from the West Coast, like the West Coast kids, like right now in sprint car world, especially in wing sprint cars, like the Northern California kids are kind of got it figured out right now. But that's because they grew up racing, like Placerville, and I mean, you just another track. It's like to me, you look at Placerville and you say, you know what? That's the closest thing to a Midwestern racetrack that's on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So that's why I was wondering, because a lot of times, when the guys come out here, you got the biggest answer usually is they like the flatter tracks, because that's what they're used to.
Yeah.
So as we're traveling up and down the road. I'm going to ask you this way. I know you guys say, you're learning a lot from Kyle, but do you think just a little bit of his success is because he's learning from you guys? And I'm going to tell you why I say this.
Okay.
Because he's learning to have fun again.
Yeah.
He's smiling. He's not stressed out. Hell, he said he hasn't been to the shop in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
not a lie.
Who the hell wouldn't want to do that? Yeah. But honestly, though, I think the team gels together, and I think what you guys have here at Petty is it's really fascinating from a guy from the outside looking in, because you guys are putting the fun back into racing for Kyle. So, how do you feel about that?
I didn't know it was going to happen, but it's great, right? It's great that he can relax and not have to stress so much about this side of things, right? He's still got to get to the race. He still has to perform on his end, but like, it's no longer his fault. Like if something goes wrong, like it's 100% on us, and we're just not going to let it happen. So he has that trust in us, and we have the trust in him. He's going to do his job, and we're going to do ours, and everyone's like, they have that covered, so they can go and relax and have a good time. Like we hang out after work all the time. We come in early, work out together, we do everything together. So it's like we're always hanging out, having a good time, laughing, whatever. So,
well, speaking of that, working out, Hold on, this was talked about off air, but I gotta put it. Drake, how can you not even lift the bar, man? You're not even that weak looking.
I can lift all that stuff over there. Yeah, all of it.
I'm just messing with you.
I've seen him lift the whole machine.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
All
I
of
mean,
it.
you're just diesel, huh?
Yeah.
So you're the enforcer on the team, or is it Cameron?
I don't know. I mean,
I'll
keep everyone in
hold on, let
line.
me put it to you this way. I'm going to say, all right, Kyle threw a slider, didn't clear Valou. The Madman's coming down. He's whooping one of y'all. Who's stepping up first?
Casey's got this one. I'm not gonna lie. Casey's got.
We won't say anything else about that.
Yeah.
Casey's got this one.
It's got
Okay.
that situation.
That one's
handled.
personal.
Okay, all right. I was just wanting to know which one of you guys were the toughest, and you guys both bailed.
So you know
That-
the
hold on, that
real
is
answer. Hold on, you know
That's
the real
the
answer.
that's a West Coast answer for you. No, we are out of this. We don't want no part of it.
We're closing the trailer doors and we're gonna put up our class sign. Okay,
Yeah, we're
in
done.
there.
We're
Yeah.
done. Okay. All right, so hold on. Where's Kyle at? Kyle, we need some punching bags in here, man. We don't got enough. The weights aren't going to do it. We got to get a punching bag or something for these guys. Look, he's going. Yeah. So he's going to order it for you guys.
Perfect.
You can't be out here in the Midwest getting beat up, guys. Hold up.
We'll let it happen.
Yeah.
We'll let it happen.
So, back to all seriousness, though. At such a young age, did you ever think that, hey, I'm going to wake up and I've got 22 race cars to work on, and somebody's actually going to pay me to do this? Did that ever gone through? Like, was that even a childhood dream or anything? Like, what was your dream? Was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do for a living.
Yeah. So no, it was not mine. I went to school. I was like really good in high school, and I got a scholarship to college, and I went to school for mechanical engineering, and I graduated, got my degree and everything, and then a year later I moved here. So it's not at all what I planned on. But this is
definitely not what your mom planned on. I promise you that.
No. But I do still have that degree in case Kyle gets mad at me one day. But
Kyle's, he's not gonna get mad at you. He might get mad if you eat all the pizza. That's about it.
Kidding,
Like,
huh?
no, but it's so cool to be able to enjoy what you do, right? I feel like if I went the other path, I'd be stuck in an office or whatever and just not really enjoying my days. And here we get to do that, and it's great.
Well, I don't see this big ass TV right over here. I'm just gonna say y'all aren't getting a whole lot of work done because Kyle said he wanted to run the wing car. We got a monster TV right here next to the wing car. That's 22 race cars in here. This car could be anywhere in the shop. It's right next to the 75-inch TV.
It's strategic. You put the car we're working on next to the TV. It makes it up.
That's my point. With the car we're working on is not done, and the race is in 3 weeks.
Plenty of time.
There's a lot of time.
Okay.
A whole lot of time.
I've been just saying, there's like, I mean, let's say I got 1, 2, 3, 5 off that I can see that don't even have rear ends in them. And you're saying you got plenty of time?
There's long stories to all this. I promise you. I promise you.
Yeah. See, Kyle, he don't know. He's up there making parts on the CNC machine. You guys can't even get the rear
I
end.
mean, we're still waiting on parts from him for the wing car, so it's like,
Well,
who are we placing the blame
Well, hold
on?
on a second. You're not waiting on all the parts. He's not making the rear end. I promise you, he's not, porting heads up there.
No, I was just thinking that car over there is real complete. Let's look at that one.
Well, it does look good.
Yeah.
The one you're selling looks great. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense here. Come on. I'm going to have to talk to him about this off air. He said he had such a good crew, and then you guys come in and start telling me this stuff.
Man, I didn't know.
Great.
We're harassed
I
here.
know.
I mean, we're cornered. We can't run a corner
I
pocket.
can't say that. We can't say nothing.
Well, you better not. I just found out who was the fighter. You guys are in trouble.
We're gonna throw microphones here in a second.
Well, no, don't do that. My wife, boy, she will kick my ass. Do not throw the microphones out. Yeah, no, we're good. I'm sorry. I take it back.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to get Arizona jumped here. All right? I mean, I'm hood and all, but we're not going that route, okay?
There's only a few people we're scared of.
Yeah.
That's our wives.
Yeah, that's my wife.
There you go.
If she tells me that I can't do this no more, I'm be like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to...
Yes, pack it up.
Sorry. Right. So this year, Cameron, how many races do you think you're going to get to run through the local stuff? Because it's not like Kyle's don't have like a busy schedule, 60-something races.
Nah, he's pretty free. I think because he's so free, he'll probably be able to run like, I'd say 20 to 25.
Okay, well,
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Well, that's a good season.
It's more than I get racing in Arizona, so it's like
You'll take it, huh?
I'm upgrading here. Yeah.
Well, the positive thing is coming to Indiana, You got at least 2 nights a week on off weekends, at least. Yeah. Sometimes you got 3, so that's that's positive. Where you guys are at, you got a little bit of travel, but not not terrible. For kids that come from Arizona. All right, Kyle, we're trying to record a show over here. But for kids who are coming from Arizona, it's not too bad. How many races are you going to get to run this year, Drake?
I think the USAC schedule, the midget schedule is 30. Hopefully no rainouts, and then
you're running the whole USAC schedule.
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, that's
okay.
awesome.
Run the full midget deal, and then I know we ran those 3 Power Eye races here, so hopefully.
You ran 2 of them.
2. Hopefully.
Okay.
We can run a couple more
Yeah,
on top of that, and we'll be good. So. Yep.
So you're going to go for the whole USAC schedule this year.
We'll run the full deal.
You're running for Chad Bowden in the midget?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Why didn't you just say that? What are you doing?
It's that lazy boy cherry. Just relax.
I know. I'm just like lounge.
You ate all your food. You're kicking back.
Yeah.
You didn't even mention that.
Yeah, we're running
Well,
the full.
let's try it again.
Okay,
hold on a second. I'm going to back this up. 20. Okay, I know where to cut it out.
There it is.
So, how many? Look, we got to be professional, man. Chill.
Yep.
No. So, how many races are you going to run this year in the midget?
So we'll have 30 national races. I'm running for Chad Boat. We'll run 30 of the national races, and then hopefully on top of that, a couple Power Eye or Extreme in our own car here that Jerry owns. So hopefully.
So you got a busy schedule then. You got a really busy schedule. Well, that's good. Look, so I see why you take it easy on Cameron and let him do all the work.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be out racing. You're going to be busy.
Just gonna relax sometimes,
Yeah. Well, I get that. You look like you've been relaxed all day. I'm not even going to go there, man. I'm just going to leave it alone.
Okay.
Who wears no shows like that?
Arizona people, we do.
Oh my God.
That's all we wear. Yeah.
That's
he
all.
actually just converted.
Yeah,
he
just
was
converted.
a long sock kind of guy.
What happened?
Was a big long sock guy, just changed it up for Florida. Had to put the shorts on. Short socks.
This is his first black pair of shoes too.
Yeah.
You grew up in a dirt track. What do you mean? What?
I'm just getting converted over.
Okay, yeah. Well, you do look a little East Coast here. I talk about flat bill. I'm liking that.
Yep.
Vans. Okay. Stained up blue jeans, hoodie. Okay. Well, I can rock with that.
Ready to go.
We're ready to go to the racetrack anytime.
Exactly.
Speaking of Florida, how fun was it to go down and just be fast right out the gate? Like, how awesome was that? Because to me, sitting back and watching, like I told Kyle, I said, it takes a couple years to figure this out because, he's run for 20 years, but it's been here in Indiana. Once he branched out, he's kind of had a knock on him. Like, he's a short track guy. And you guys go out there and you win on probably the most, I don't even know how to say it correctly, the most diverse style track in Ocala. We'll just put it that way. And then the big track at Volusia. So that's got to feel good for you guys who's putting in the work, doing the work. Even though you're having a good time, and I'm here joking with you, but you have a good time. Like, that's got to be a lot of fun for you guys to be like, we can do this. We can compete nationally.
Yeah. It's a crazy feeling because like he said, he doesn't come to the shop much anymore. He's got his own deal and he stays focused on that down, as machine shop. So like all of it, I don't even think he sat in the car until he fired it off just to make sure it ran. Like he was completely, almost disassociated. Like he just didn't come down here and like look over anything or whatever. So we had, everything torn apart and obviously rebuilt like for a whole new year, trailer, cars, everything was redone this year. And to be able to unload, not one problem, and just absolutely put down some heater of laps, just like he was hustling that thing. And watch the car just perform like it does is pretty cool. And I think, speaking for both of us, I think the crew side of things compared to driver side of things is a whole different feeling. And like watching him like lead laps and then just come to the checker like that and win it, it's a whole different feeling, and it's exciting for sure, and to be able to put it all together is cool. So,
that's a pretty good answer. So we'll let that one go for both, right?
Yep. Perfect. I mean, covered it all.
No. That's good. That's good. So let me ask you this, because I can kind of see where he just wants to drive, just balls to the wall. That's his style. I can just tell. Okay, especially and positive. I mean, you're driving for Chad Boat and Petty Performance. I mean, hold on, I'm gonna come back to the camera. Like, that's got to be a confidence builder in itself, huh? I got everything I need. I'm just going to go out here and perform.
Yes. No, it is for sure. And it's like, it's right back to the same deal, like showing up and knowing this stuff's going to be great already. It does put added pressure on to perform, I feel, because it's not a car. It won't never be a car problem. It'll be a just driver figure it out kind of deal. So hopefully we can have a really good run in that. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity through Jerry to be able to drive a race car that can perform like that. So it's very exciting.
Okay. Now back to you, Cameron. I want to ask you this. Because there's a lot of ways to make it, so to say, in the racing world. Let's just say the dream of driving doesn't work out. Could you see yourself in the future, like, I'm content with being a crew chief and doing this? Or is it something that, no, I really want to drive. That's what I want to do. I mean, because making it in the racing world is really tough, but if you're open-minded about it, you can do it other ways.
Many ways, yeah.
So is that something that's an option, or is it? Are you? I mean, hell, you're 24. You're like, no, I'm gonna make it. And that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I've been asked this question quite a few times actually, but I don't know that it would be. Like right now, I do all the crew side of things, right? And I have this incentive to race. Like I know that at the end of the day, I could still do it and I could still go out there and race and do what I love. And what I've spent like the last however many years of my life, 7 years, 8 years, just like dedicating myself towards. So I don't know if I would. I feel like if that were to happen, it'd probably be later down the road or something just switch my mind. But I think at the time and like probably in the next foreseeable future, I don't know if I could just strictly be a crew guy without ever being able to sit in the seat again.
But see, and that's a fair answer, because that's, especially at your age, you're like,
oh yeah,
I can see where you're just like, no, I really want to race, but and if you keep performing on the crew side, you may not get the opportunity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's you're at the point where you're crewing for top 3 contender every night at the racetrack. Mm-hmm. So not only are you learning, and for your driving in the future, but as far as just setting the car up, the changes of the car, watching the attitude of the car, doing the tires, I know you guys got crew for everything, but as you step back, you can learn a lot by watching and not doing, if you understand what I'm saying. And, you're picking up on stuff, you're getting knowledge from, a guy like Kyle Cummins that, people pay really good money to try to learn this. And, this is on a day-to-day basis. So don't be closed-minded about the situation going forwards, okay? Yeah. Because we all want to race. Yeah. There's, like when I quit racing, the reason why I started doing this podcast was because, like, I started announcing races, and I travel and I announce 4 series, and now I'm like, okay, I still want to be involved. I still want to leave my mark, so to speak. Not like we're pulling 10 million views each week, but we still got people that's reaching out every week. Hey, I really enjoy this. I like this. So don't be closed-minded about it. Okay, going forward. That's just some advice. Now, you, Drake, I mean, bro, I can just tell you're not planning for nothing. You're just getting in and driving the race car. All right? I know that. I can we're good. We'll talk to you in a few years. Okay. I know you're just thinking about that damn slide job. It didn't work. That's all that's in your head right now. Okay. I can see that. I can tell that. But Cameron, I can tell he's just a little bit, we'll say mature, a little more mature, a little more.
Got a few years on. Just
a few years. So I see why you bring him with you, though. Yeah. You're smarter than people give you credit for.
Thank you.
And see, that's a compliment, because I can see where you say, you know what? I'm going to go to the Midwest and race, and I'm bringing my dude with me.
Yeah.
All right, because he knows how to make this stuff work. So I
brought the knowledge.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, that's smart.
Use them up.
That's the knowledge. Well, yeah, I'm going to get everything out of him, and then make sure he don't get the opportunity. I want it. No, but in all seriousness, I think what you guys got going here is great. I think it's cool that you guys get to hang out with each other. Like, be best friends, at the track.
Hell, I worked in a race shop for 3 years. I never got to sit in a race car.
Yeah.
So I had to go buy my own afterwards.
Yeah. I'm going to go buy this damn thing. Yeah. But, in all seriousness, I think it's cool that you guys get to do life together. You guys got a place. You got the Petty Performance compound that's almost done.
Almost done.
Ish.
It's getting
Yeah,
there. It's getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there.
It's a pretty nice place.
Yeah, but this, you guys got everything you need to be successful, and I think just from someone that's been involved in the sport, it's been involved with mentoring young kids. I know I cut up a lot and stuff, but as I coached high school basketball. I've been around kids my whole life. I'm just wanting to tell you guys, enjoy this. Enjoy the ride while it happens, because you think at this age I'm going to do this forever. And there's going to come a day where you're not. Yeah. But enjoy this, because you guys are getting to live out a dream that a lot of kids don't get to live out right now. And not only that, you guys are being pretty successful at it, minus the one run at Port City. But besides that, you guys are being pretty successful at it. So enjoy the ride, and enjoy the learning, enjoy the trips, and most importantly, don't take any of this for granted, okay? Because it could be pulled from you any second. So enjoy it. Don't get stressed out. Don't beat yourself. Like if you have a bad run, you have a bad run. Like he's chill. And he had a terrible run, so he's chill, okay? Yeah. But all jokes aside, enjoy this, because it's as you guys listened to Kyle's interview earlier, it's stressful, especially when you're racing for points and on a national scale, and we're trying to get everything together. So don't get caught up in the stress, but make sure you enjoy the trip, enjoy the journey. Because when it's all over and done with, and you're old guys like me, you're fat, old, and bald, you step back and you look, and all you have is the memories. Yeah, the memories is all what's left when it's over. So make sure you guys take this in.
Yeah, we're making plenty of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you got every tool you need, every part you need, every piece of equipment you need. So just enjoy the ride, okay? And we got to do something to get him just a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
All right.
I know. The bar is strong enough.
Yeah, we got to work on that, because right now you're driving the midgets. You can have noodles for arms.
I know.
But once you get to those sprint
cars, I know.
Yeah, once you get to those sprint cars, man.
I know.
And you might want to. Never mind. We ain't gonna talk about.
What
the
you
socks.
thinking there, down there?
We ain't even talking about the socks. I was looking to see how big your right foot was, see if it was heavy.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can't even get over the little bitty socks that I just can't even do it, man.
Like a size 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he needs ankle weights.
Ankle weights.
He needs ankle weights
we
on
can
the
just
right
strap
foot.
them all up now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then your legs won't be all shaky when you're doing the damn bar over there. See, look, we're solving the world's
problems are
problems.
solved.
Yeah,
It's all done.
But one thing I am going to do, I'm going to tell Kyle he's got to move the TV, or he's never going to make the World Outlaw race at Hopstop.
No, TV's fine, dude. I'm telling you.
The TV's fine?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. No, it's good.
Now, I'm gonna come back up here in a couple weeks. Just want to drop in and say hi. And if that wing car's not getting closer to done, we're gonna see which one of y'all are the toughest.
I think it'll be done and have a World Outlaw check hanging on the wall.
I knew I liked him for some reason.
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
he's confident. I mean, if you walk out of the house looking like this, you better be confident, though. Okay. Who do you guys want to thank to get you up and down the road? This is where you got 2 opportunities here. I'm just helping him out, okay?
Yeah.
2 of them. Well, first and foremost, Jerry Petty. Without any of this, it wouldn't be possible. Petty Performance Racing, Phil Rossi with Apache Scapes helps Jerry out a lot. I know they're real good friends. Just everyone here. I mean, Kyle and all the crew guys and everyone that helps. Donnie Reams has been a big part of my career with micros and stuff. Always helped me out back home, and yeah.
Me would be saying Jerry Petty, of course.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're gonna start there.
But you might want to start and finish there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's been a great help, and just he's enabled me to do like what I've always wanted to do. I've had a lot of people get me started in my racing and take me really far, right? Like family, friends, and everyone let me drive their car. My car owners have been amazing in the past, and Jerry's no different. So I got to thank him, Avanti Windows and Doors, Apache Scapes with Phil Rossi, and Lifestyle Homes and Luke's Oil Center. Just everyone that puts in an effort to let us, do what we love and live the dream. So it's pretty cool to be here. We have Cameron LaRose. I'm gonna leave the off, and this kid again. Yeah, I gotta add one more thing
before we end.
I'm getting yelled at from across the shop.
Do you know how much editing I'm gonna have to do?
No, just leave this in.
Okay.
I did forget it. My girlfriend, I gotta thank. She moved from Arizona. I forced her to move here. Yeah. So I moved her across the country with me. So
As she's dropping stuff.
she's dropping stuff, yeah. But thanks to her for coming with me and not just leaving me out here by myself. So.
No, okay.
And the dog.
And the dog.
You brought the dog too?
Cat, yeah.
I mean,
The whole family.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you brought everybody.
Everyone, yeah.
That's like, he's like, hey, we're moving. Like, we are moving.
Closed up shop and you got out of there.
We put the dog in the back seat. We're hitting the road. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the ride and have fun. Cameron LaRose,
Yes.
I'm leaving the off of it, and some bum.
Some midget kid.
Some,
Yeah.
that's politically incorrect.
Why?
You are tall.
Oh, okay.
Good God Almighty.
I mean,
Good. And his buddy Drake Edwards. Thank you guys for coming on. Hold on.
thanks for having us.
All right, guys, that was Cameron LaRose and Drake Edwards from the Petty Performance Racing Team. The crew guys for Kyle Cummins, that's their main job, number one priority.
Yeah.
Make sure Kyle Cummins has good equipment and is ready to go to the racetrack.
Yep,
But
everything's
number two priority, the Petty Performance Team, it's kind of like I don't want to say driver developmental.
Yeah.
But the kids get to come out here from the West Coast and race. They get to race 25 to 30 local shows, and Drake Edwards is going to run the complete USAC National Midget Tour.
Yeah.
Pretty cool deal for them. One thing I want to say, these kids are living their dream, one thing. But the second thing, man, I was kind of giving those guys a hard time.
Yeah.
And they took it well, really well. Super cool kids. We actually talked to them. Tonight at the racetrack, and just down to earth, really good kids and
Hardworking kids too.
yeah, just work around the clock. And one thing that that Kyle Cummins said about the kids is, we've got a rental house for them. They're here staying. They're living their dream. But man, I can trust them to do anything.
Yeah.
And I asked Cameron, do you think that maybe there's not there if the opportunity presents itself that you could just be a crew chief? Because you're pretty good at this.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know if that's me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kid's got his head on his shoulders. Now Drake on the other end, Drake is thinking about one thing. He's thinking about slide jobs,
Yeah.
dive bombs, running the cushion. Drake is straight go all the time.
Yeah.
But Cameron, like I said, he's cool. He's calm, cool, collected.
They're kind of a little different in that aspect.
Yeah, totally. It's cool that you get to live with your best friend, but I can see where Drake kind of needs Cameron to reel him back a little bit.
Yeah.
And I can also see where Cameron kind of needs Drake so he doesn't get stressed out because Drake's like, oh, bro, it's good. Don't worry about it. It's good. Let's go up here and get eat from one of these 9 pizza joints.
Yeah.
Then let's get something to eat. Then let's turn on this 75-inch TV. If you want to put the bar in, we'll put the bar in, but let's turn on flow. Yeah. But overall, good kids, fun trip.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not going to know who these kids are, so to speak. But after you listen to them, they're really good insight, and also, man, it's cool as hell of Jerry Petty to say, the guy that's involved in all sprint car racing.
Yeah.
Like, I love sprint car racing, but this dude must really love sprint car racing.
Yeah.
He's got, I bet Avante Windows and Doors is on, I know they're on 22 cars because Kyle Cummins has got 22 of them.
Yeah.
But, I'm just saying, I bet they're on 20 different race teams.
Yeah.
And the guy that...
And he owns a racetrack.
And he owns a racetrack that Ricky Lewis won at this week.
Yeah.
And
I think I seen it on Ricky Lewis's car this weekend, his name.
Yeah, so Jerry Petty, hat shake to you for giving kids an opportunity to live their dream.
Yeah.
And
help racers out.
and a guy that's helping her. And one thing, like, Kyle Cummins is top of the line, next level elite, but he didn't start racing on the road until he was an older age, and that's awful cool that Jerry Petty said, "Hey, I'm a fan of you. I like you. Let's do this."
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, with his business and stuff, he couldn't done that anyways. So not only did he give Kyle Cummins an opportunity to relax and just concentrate on life and still be able to race, but he's also giving Cameron LaRose and Drake Edwards and the whole race team an opportunity.
Yeah.
And our sport needs people like Jerry Petty. And I told these kids, I say, guys, listen, enjoy this ride.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be here forever. I mean,
Right.
no racing deal is. But if I was 21, 22 years old and I could do what you guys are doing, I'd be doing what you guys are doing.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
enjoy this. So overall, good, fun interview. Like the kids. And actually, we're going to be cheering on Cameron tomorrow at Circle City
Yeah.
Raceway. So, or tonight, today, whenever the hell it is. We're going to be cheering on Cameron.
On
and-
Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah. Sunday. That's an old Sportstrom reference.
Yeah.
Guys, Sportstrom did have a Sunday Fun Day. At one time, they did.
Yeah.
But upcoming races this weekend. If you like it, there's an option to go see it this weekend. Let's
Yeah.
just say that. I'm not even going to talk about the national stuff. I'm just going to talk about the stuff in our area this weekend coming up. American Crate Racing, American All Stars weekend got rained out this weekend. It's been pushed back a week. Next
Yeah.
Friday, $3,000 to win at Mountain Motor Speedway in Isom, Kentucky. And then next Saturday at Lake Cumberland Speedway, the Bluegrass Bash, I think that's what it's called, or Bluegrass. I think it was the Bluegrass Bash. But Saturday, the Crate Racing American All Stars are at Lake Cumberland Speedway. The Cumberland Plateau Open Modified Series, we attempt to get our season started again. So Flash and I will be down at Rockcastle Speedway in Mount Vernon, Kentucky
Yeah.
for $2,000 to win, $200 to start. We're expecting a big field of cars for that. I think we got 6 or 7 young kids that are going to follow the tour again this year. So
Yeah.
should be a fun, interesting tour. One thing that's really cool about the Cumberland Plateau Open Modified Series is we race at a lot of racetracks that don't run modifieds, that much.
Yeah.
In the Southeast, it's late model world and all late models all the time. I think Dirt on Dirt stole their name, all late models
Yeah.
all the time. I think
Yeah.
they took that from East Tennessee.
Yeah.
But we're going to, we make a bunch of trips to East Tennessee. And like I said, next weekend, the 19th, at Rockcastle Speedway, will be there. And then one I'm really looking forward to, May 3rd, Derby Day. The modifieds, the open wheeled warriors, the bluegrass, or the blue collar bad boys, whatever you want to call them, make their way to the Bad Fast Haswell Speedway, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a huge car count on that. Also coming up this weekend, the Northern All Star late models and mods will be at Paragon Speedway for the Marvin O'Neill Memorial.
That's going to be a good show.
Don O'Neill and Hudson O'Neill are going to be racing.
And Marty O'Neill.
And Marty O'Neill, yes.
Yeah.
All the O'Neills are going to be racing in the grandpa/dad's race.
Yeah.
So that's cool as hell. Shout out to James Essex for. Is that another train?
I think it is.
I think it is too. Okay, well, we've been doing this for an hour then, Flash.
Yeah.
But shout out to James Essex for bringing the highest paying late model race in the history of Paragon Speedway.
Yeah.
And then the Northern All Star Series mods. There's going to be a few mod drivers that got some choices to make with a couple options. But looking forward to that. And also, the Midwest 410 Sprint Cars. I think they had 38 sprint cars, and Haley Burns won this evening, but we didn't see it, so we're not going to talk about it.
Right.
But that's the group we're going to watch later on this afternoon, basically.
Yeah.
That's the group we're going to go watch in Circle City. Next weekend, we've got non-wing sprint cars in the great state of Indiana again. Friday night, Circle City Raceway, $2,500 to win. Midwest 410 non-wing sprint cars. And then Saturday night, this is right here. I'm telling you guys, if they get it in, it's going to be a phenomenal event. The Midwest 410 non-wing sprint cars return to Brownstown Speedway next Saturday night.
Yeah.
So doubleheader of non-wing sprint cars, and I'm pretty sure Paragon. Paragon does not have sprint cars because of the super late models.
Right.
But Lincoln Park Speedway is opening up with their regular Saturday. Lawrenceburg is opening back up. So racing in the Midwest is full-fledged. So plenty of stuff to do. I know we left the national tour stuff off. I get it. But guys, we're trying to get people to support your local racetracks. So in order to support your local racetracks, we need to kind of talk about the local racetracks.
Yeah.
The guys in the area.
At least the ones that are makeable for our area.
Yeah, for our
you know.
area. And for the people that listen from all over the country, we greatly appreciate it. I know this show was kind of more centered towards, our area, but the USAC National Sprint Cars is, they're on flow. They can be seen. So want to thank our sponsors again before we get off here. Diesel Boys LLC, Brandon Hooker, and the guys at Diesel Boys. Shout out to my little brother Ricky Puckett for winning the modified figure 8 feature at Sportsdrome Speedway.
Yeah.
Slider of the Week presented by Speed Decals. Thank you for Walt at Speed Decals for everything you do for us. Deep Dive presented by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. #1 supporter since day one. Shout out to Ben Harmon, the Brooks Bandit, for getting the Northern All-Star Modified win. And Crash of the Week, D.O. Handyman and Remodeling, 812-989-5002. Thank you for coming on, helping us get up and down the road, helping us bring you these wonderful stories of bathroom shenanigans, double dipping at the racetrack, all the unhealthy food that we ate.
Yeah.
And then, Flash, you know what's like I'm really looking forward to tomorrow?
What's that?
Hangry Joe's.
Oh, yeah.
I've had some people ask me, like, what's that place in Indianapolis?
Yeah.
It's Hangry Joe's. I'll put a picture on my Instagram or on my story and all that stuff tomorrow.
There's a place in Clarksville that's almost as good, though.
Really?
Yep. It's called Dave's Hot Chicken. And,
Yeah.
yep.
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's not as good, but it's pretty close.
Well, it's a lot closer.
Yeah.
It is a lot closer.
Yeah. But I'm kind of looking forward to stopping up there tomorrow, though.
But guys, we say this each and every week. Word of mouth is the best advertisement. Our numbers are growing each and every week, and it's not because of us, it's because of you. So please tell somebody about us. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. One thing that I do want to say, our YouTube numbers are fluctuating up and down, up and down. Guys, message me however you listen to the podcast. Just send me a direct message or whatever. I can tell most of it's done on Spotify.
Yeah.
But if there's another app besides Apple,
Yeah.
that's a whole other story. But if there's another app that that you guys prefer to listen to, just let me know. We'll do our best to accommodate that. But you can always find us on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. Spotify is the easiest to use, on my opinion. But Spotify is our biggest number getter. But we appreciate you. However you listen to the show, we really appreciate it. Got anything else, Flash?
No, I can't think of anything. Just try to get out and support your local racetrack.
Now support your local racetrack, even if it's cold, wet, damp. It can still be a good time. We had a great time this weekend, and the weekend's still going. And until next time, we'll be trading sliders.